How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Ganji. Welcome to another episode of Tier Talk. I want to do one more thing related to the Celeste Rivas Hernandez case. Okay, so we used to get all that information from TMZ, right? Because they took control of the narrative and they were filling out moments of ambiguity with whatever narrative they wanted. And when that was happening, obviously, bigger media, they weren't really picking it up because there really wasn't much to run with. So you saw that become gossip. It went to all those different networks, News Nation, a bunch of them. But now we see that the bigger media has picked it up. And I got one from ABC and let's see, I'm going to look at two articles. One from ABC News and another one from Eyewitness News out of LA. So now we have the bigger media because this in this case here, the bigger media knows that this is more verified. So it goes to show you, man, some of these news outlets that were running with these little stories, you know, you're running on just whatever is thrown into the wind with no valid source. And now we got two bigger media sources and they say a totally different picture, a picture that's different than a narrative we have been being provided. I mean, we had a cooperative David and media saying he was never cooperative. But it's amazing how when you have these moments of ambiguity, these other media outlets like TMZ come in and try to fill it up. And now we actually got something. So in all fairness, I wanted to just see what the other media outlets are saying because there's a different story. And this story is literally different from the get-go. From the get-go. So let's start with, I'm just going to read through them. Let's start with ABC News. So singer David, D4vd, considered suspect in investigation of teen found dead in his Tesla. The singer D4vd is now considered a suspect in the death investigation of a teenage girl whose decomposing body was discovered in the trunk of a Tesla registered to the singer, according to sources. So let's see what we have here. Oh, that's actually just a tweet. So let's skip this one. Let's go to the next one. Hold on, guys. There's more. I put a few up. That was just a tweet. Let's try this one. David is considered a suspect in the death investigation of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, sources say. The singer David is considered a suspect in the death investigation of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, whose body was found inside an impounded Tesla in September. A source with knowledge of the investigation told Eyewitness News on Tuesday. Still, no one has been arrested and the investigation is ongoing. Rivas was reported missing from Lake Elsinore in early 2024. She ran away a few times and returned before her last runaway in April of 2024, according to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. She reportedly called home at the end of May of 2024 and not been heard from since. Authorities discovered her body on September 8th after responding to a tow yard near Mansfield Avenue and Romaine Street in Hollywood. Officers went to investigate a foul odor coming from the Tesla, which police sources say had been at the lot for 2 days after it was found abandoned on a public street in Hollywood, because it was over the weekend. Police located the body inside a bag placed in front trunk of the Tesla, LAPD sources say. Okay, so now we know it was in a bag. The body was dismembered. So that's coming from sources as well, and in a state of decomposition. That's what sources told ABC News. So the body was dismembered. I think we can lean on this. The vehicle was registered to 20-year-old singer David Anthony Burke, known as David, who has more than 33 million monthly listeners on Spotify and over 3.6 million followers on TikTok, where his songs Here With Me and Romantic Homicide have gone viral. He released his debut album earlier this year and often credits TikTok for his success. Sources with knowledge of the investigation say David is not cooperating with the investigation and never has cooperated, despite what his PR reps have claimed. So we know what TMZ is. They're PR reps. David was on tour when the body was discovered and had a stop schedule in Los Angeles on September 20th. The remainder of the tour ended up being canceled before the tour stopped amid investigation. The exact cause of Hernandez's death is still undetermined because the body was badly decomposed, but investigators believe it was a murder that occurred earlier that year. Look at that. But investigators believe it was a murder that occurred earlier this year. That wasn't said in the TMZ thing. D4D made some changes to the ownership of one of his Texas homes last month. Eyewitness News learned. Records show he transferred his Cypress home located in the Houston area to his mother's name on September 23rd. Officials say deputies were called to the Houston area home where David's parents live on September 17th, but that turned out to be a fake swatting call. In mid-September, detectives were seen taking evidence, including a computer from Hollywood Hills home where the singer had recently stayed. According to LA Times, a lease on one of the homes had been broken early, and D4D had moved out. Okay, so that's one article. Let's look at one more. But look at this, guys. We got murder and we got dismembered. I want to do one more just to get another view. And this makes you want to go back and just question what we were originally fed. Singer David viewed as suspect in teen's death, according to report. Singer David reportedly now a suspect in the death of a teenage girl whose decomposed body was found in his parked Tesla. That, according to a report in TMZ, cited law enforcement sources with direct knowledge. Hold on. So a lot of them do lean on TMZ because they were the first to break the story. Probably did. At first, I felt they were trying to be a bit more objective. But when that lawyer got involved, which I think happened very soon after they picked up the story, they tried to change the narrative, take ownership of the narrative. Because one thing, it's like it's a race to get the story out there, but it's also a race to control the narrative. David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, was scheduled to perform at the Warfield in San Francisco September when news broke that the remains of a 15-year-old Celeste Rivas were discovered in his car. The SF show, along with his remaining tour dates, were canceled following the grisly discovery. TMZ is reporting that while there is no official paperwork classifying D4vd as a suspect, investigators are looking at D4vd 20 as a suspect. Police are also viewing Celeste's death as a homicide, according to TMZ, even though the manner and cause of death are not yet determined. Celeste was reported missing on April 5th, 2024 from Lake Elsinore, California. This is all just leaning on what TMZ wrote. All right, so it's a little something. So again, if you noticed, we have news reports marking that she could have been murdered, that he has not been cooperative the whole time. That's interesting. So, and you notice that they're picking up the story now because now they know that there's stuff that's probably relevant. And now all of a sudden, then you got TMZ trying to run with the story. Because I think yesterday they put something out and they just wasn't aware what was coming out the next day. Because I think if they knew all this was coming out the next day, they wouldn't have put that out. But then LAPD did a twist. They gave out some information, and they knew that the media was going to jump on this, and that's why you saw TMZ rush to push this out and then try to clean up what they wrote or the video they did the day before. Because they've been pretty quiet on David recently because I think they have been getting backlash. So, again, I just wanted to show you guys what I would feel is more objective reporting than what we have seen. I mean, nothing's ever truly objective technically with the media, but it's a little bit more, so they're utilizing their sources. So the first article I read, at least from ABC, is utilize their own sources, which is important. They're not leaning on TMZ. The other two articles, unfortunately, were taking TMZ's lead. So I don't want to read any more of that. But I like the ABC one because they're utilizing their own sources, and they have murdered. They have, the fact that he wasn't cooperative the whole time, which we were told he was. And I wonder if we actually timed that, because I wonder if that's when Blair Burke started representing D4vd, where they try to push that he was cooperative. Maybe, to be honest, he was connected to her maybe soon after the get-go. Once they discovered it, once they discovered Celeste Rivas Hernandez, maybe he was already on the phone with the lawyer. Because if TMZ was already with this narrative, maybe TMZ connected David to that lawyer. I mean, we don't know. Be interesting if that was the case. Could be. It's not too far-fetched because the narrative gets adjusted along the way. But I wanted to share that narrative there because, again, that's coming from ABC News. It's not coming from anything related to TMZ. So I thought that was interesting. And all right, guys, this is good. Justice hopefully is on its way. But I just wanted to share that. Guys, if you like the content I shared, just please, I do have Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. It's listed in the description of each video and also on top of the YouTube channel. As always, guys, stay safe.